What if you discovered that using precision water jet cutting, you could redefine the meaning of grit? In today's episode of Escaping Ordinary, we are meeting two brothers who are doing just that. Let's get into this episode. Welcome to Escaping Ordinary today. I'm thrilled to be speaking here with Danny and Chris from Grit Cutting Solutions. Danny, Chris, welcome to Escaping Ordinary.
Thanks for having me. Yep.
I'm thrilled to be here at your site. Would you mind giving me just an introduction to what grit cutting is?
So grit cutting, we're a job shop. We kind of do everything. Primarily two-dimensional sheet cutting. We process all sorts of materials from various metals, precious metals, glass, rubber, wood, plastics, you kind of name it. And then also general fabrication, forming, bending, welding, all the above.
Yeah.
Full turnkey parts.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much spot on. Our biggest thing we do is sheet metal or sheet material cutting. The rest is just added, but mainly our water jets, our lasers, our plasma cutter. So we're slowly building, you know, our as we go, getting new machines, trying to make our capabilities bigger. So we're just, starting small, growing big.
As I understand, you started in 2022. You started with a water jet. Chris,
Sure.
You mentioned that since and you've added more.
Correct.
What has been the driving decision of what equipment to add versus what to hold off on?
Well, the first machine I bought was a water jet. One, because they're a lot less common in this industry than, like, most dive shops have a laser. And they're great, they're fast, but you can only do a very limited type of thing on them. So I'm like, well, let's get something different. We can do stuff for everyone. And like, okay, well, this is a common table size. Let's go bigger so we can set ourselves aside bigger. So very first piece of equipment we bought was the biggest, or one of the biggest water jets I could find. And that's really come to help us out because we can do a lot more with it than most people can because we have physical larger capabilities. It just kind of grew off of that, depending on what customers were asking for or needed. We kind of saw like, oh, we have a lot of people asking for this. Let's look into dabbling into those capabilities. And then, oh, now we got a lot of people asking for this. Let's try and expand on that. So it's really just growing as we see a need.
So when you first got the idea for grit cutting, what was it that made you feel bold enough or brave enough to take the leap away from the more traditional lifestyle into business ownership?
I'll let you start with this one.
Yeah.
So Danny actually founded the company. I have since then kind of done away with our old job and kind of moved into a partnership with him, but I'll let you take it.
Well, yeah, Grit started right around when kind of all COVID stuff was going on. My wife and I both worked in the defense industry, and we're like, if you don't abide by certain rules, you're getting the boot. So I'm like, well, I don't like being back into a corner, and whether you feel either way about things. So I'm like, let's try and start a company. We can do this. We literally sat on the couch, thought how we're going to do this, and she named it. Came up with GRIT for guts, resilience, integrity, and tenacity. It's kind of what it stands for, with having the guts to be able to do that, and, like, you know, the tenacity to not be pushed down and push forward. So kind of grew in from that reason of, I don't like people telling me what to do in that sense, I guess. Kind of want my freedoms and need to be something I can always have and take care of my family with, because I got 3 little ones and he has, you know, his own also. So just needed to be able to set up a foundation for that reason, and also build something that I'm proud of, I guess. Like, I can walk in every day and be like, I did that, you know?
Yeah.
And then it really took off when I had Chris come up here. We're brothers, by the way. Come up here and
Older brother, younger brother. Yep,
So-
yep. So
tell his story.
yeah,
what he
so
did.
kind of the same scenario around the COVID time. A lot of, you know, things being pushed. Again, if you agree one way or the other, that's not why we're here. But I didn't want to be pushed into that field. You know, so me and my wife, originally from Southern California. I worked for LA City Fire Department, and they were very much so, you know, pushing the the vaccination and whatnot. And I wasn't for it. I wanted my right away from it. So I worked the entire, you know, first year and a half or 2 years of the really hardest COVID, you know, moments.
Yeah.
Everything's locked down. Fire department is still out there. I'm going to people's homes, you know, caring for the community. But when it came time to, hey, now you need to get it, because that's just what it is. I, you know, decided, hey, I'm not getting it. So they basically said, okay, we are not going to pay you. Go home. Don't come to work. We're not going to pay you until you get it. And I was like, whoa, wow, okay. So I said, okay, I'll go home. I'll take a pay cut, or a no pay at all.
Yep.
And then finally it ended up turning long enough where a lot of firemen didn't want it, and they actually didn't have enough guys to staff their engines.
Ooh.
So LA City said, actually, never mind, we need you guys to come back. Just sign this form. So I'm like, you know what, this isn't really the career I want to do, being pushed into things I don't agree with. Danny already had the business running for a year.
About a year.
About a year.
Somewhere like that, yeah.
And so I was like, hey, we used to do this when we were back in high school. We had our first company doing automotive fabrication. We built trucks and buggies. We used to race off-road and down in the Baja 500 in Mexico. And we built some pretty cool stuff. So he started it. I'm like, hey, I want to get back into what I used to do. It was fun. I get to work with my brother. I get to move to Utah, which is an amazing state, kind of get out of the LA area and get away from a job that my wife didn't like it because of the cancer risk. I had a great time. I loved my fire crew, and I, you know, I won't give up the memories and the camaraderie we had with my crew. But working up here with him, working hands-on, that's our biggest thing. Is we like to work hands-on.
Big thing, hands-on. Yeah.
Getting away from the forced stuff that we didn't like.
Yeah.
So we're here. We're now 3.5 years.
Yeah, so 3.5 years deep into this and growing.
He did a great job starting the company. Like he said, he bought the best machine he could with the biggest capability. That really, I think, boosted us. And then from there, we bought an additional water jet. We bought a laser. People wanted stuff bent. We bought a press brake. We brought our plasma table up. So now we're just growing machine after machine and trying to buy more and keep going. So, but back to your question with the grit. A lot of people think it stands for the grit out of our water jet, the sand.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It's kind of has a personal meaning to us, more so than what other people think.
It was guts, resilient, integrity, and tenacity, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious, why use tenacity and resilience? In my mind, those are kind of similar words. Is there a difference for you?
Well, one, it fit, and two, there is a little bit. I think resilience is more of a don't let people stop you, and tenacity is a personal drive. I don't know.
Okay.
And just keep itching at it kind of deal.
Yeah.
So just a never give up kind of thing.
So Danny, in the moment when you were making your decision to actually take the leap out of the defense industry and form your own company, what was going on in your mind in terms of your excitement, your planning? What were the actual mental steps that you had to cover to make that transition from employee to business owner?
The steps making the process, a lot of it obviously was some of the, politics at the time we were dealing with, but I was also dealing with a lot of very negative people in my old job, and it was I saw myself taking it home. Like, I can't bring this home. This is not good. And let's do something better in that sense. But the thought process on growing it was,
Yeah.
I was also working a job. I used, again, very hands-on, like Chris was saying. I used to work in test where I was doing hands on the assets, right? Doing things with it. And I got catfished into a job where they're like, we want you to set up this test program, but actually go do design over here. So here's a cube farm and have fun. Like, I wasn't happy at it either. So like, I'm an engineer, but I'm an engineer that builds stuff. So like, I can still use my degree. Let's just go do something else and kind of building it. And it let me get back into building stuff while also kind of building a community of friends and with other businesses, because a lot of deal with a lot of other businesses around here. Again, having moved from another state, we came up here with zero name. No one knew us. We didn't have generations of connections, and we knew no one. When we started this company, it was this is going to be very difficult to do, but I want it bad enough, so let's make it happen kind of deal. I don't know, I guess the steps to it just had to be done, find a way to do it.
That comes back to your GRIT acronym, right?
Yeah.
It has to be done, find a way to do it.
Yeah, I got some shirts made and some business cards, and I literally drove around business park after business park, knocking on doors, physically handing them out, introducing myself and our capabilities, and how it started. I got my first few customers based on that, and then word of mouth from there.
But people told him when he was going door to door as the business owner, not just a sales rep, but people told him, if you have basically the willingness to go door to door yourself, you're gonna make it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Most people don't have the willpower every day to get out there and show up early, go home late, just for the first couple of years, or even the first 10 years. Really hustle. We might look clean now, but usually we're back in the shop and we are filthy, and we're hustling, we're working our butts off, but we're making it happen because we got kids and families. And, each other.
Our customers aren't dealing with a salesman or a third party that you can outsource this to, right? Like, you're gonna talk to me, design the part. I'm gonna make the part. I'm gonna deliver it. So all the way through, we have our name on it.
So Chris, Danny had the business going for about a year when you came over. When you made the transition, did you feel confident that this was the right move? Was there a little bit of hesitancy?
I think I got the most hesitancy, I guess, from outsiders.
Okay.
I know between us, we can make anything work. We always are the brothers that our friends have told us, I'm gonna say the S word, but
Sure.
we get shit done.
Yeah.
I don't want to cuss on your, but we make it happen. It's just, if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be, the We Hunt brothers. And we hear that a lot growing up. So coming in, and we knew we could do this. It's gonna take work, but we can work. I was excited. I was hesitant because the fire department did offer a lot of perks and whatnot, and now we've worked hard enough to where we've gained those perks back, so I feel very comfortable. I think the most hesitant was people telling my crew, my other family members saying, "Are you sure? Are you sure you're gonna? You got a great career. You got the lottery ticket. You're a fireman."
Yeah.
But I'm like, no. There is always something better. And I know a lot of people will say, well, grass isn't greener on the other side. But if you really try and work at it, you can make something of anything you want. So with a lot of sweat.
I definitely say, some hesitation. This is for both of us. So when he joined me, he had just gotten married, and they were getting pregnant soon to have a kid. So great timing. And then for me, when I started, my wife, when we started looking for the building, she was pregnant with our first. By the time we found a place, we had our first kid, and then we were pregnant with our second. Great timing, a new family to walk away from a comfortable job, to start. So everyone's like, and that's one of the things. I had an old manager. One of the things he told me that I will never forget is, you're never gonna be where you want to be, in the sense of ready. Everyone was like, well, I just need to get to this point to take this leap of faith, or get to this point to do whatever I want to do. It's never gonna be ready enough. You're never gonna get there. So if you want it, do it. Go for it.
That is great wisdom right there. You're absolutely right.
Wisdom.
There is no one's ever gonna give you permission or tell you now is your time. It's just a decision you have to make.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Now, you've talked about the transition. In the subsequent 3 or 2 years that you've been here, talk us through a little bit about the ups as well as the downs. Let's hear some successes, but let's hear some challenges also.
You wanna?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of ups and downs. I think we were joking around a little bit, while we were setting up, is some of the downs is we have to be here. It's us too.
Gotta show up.
When I'm working for a large, department or company, it sucks to say, but I'm a number.
Yeah.
And I learned that when I left, that they didn't need me, and it was nice, good and bad. Hey, I can bang in or call in.
Yep.
They'll fill a guy. They'll have a guy in my spot. They don't necessarily need me there. If I'm sick here at between us two, I need to come to work because we got parts we got to get out for customers that need them yesterday, and so that's kind of the downside. The upside is, for me, it's different. I get all the holidays at home with my family. As a fireman, I didn't have that. I worked Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, all that. So a lot of family time. We're big on family. I think we're making it work as far as the financial side. So that's there. We're
We've
comfortable
got
there
that
now.
checked off.
So that was a downside at first.
You take a hit. That's the thing. It's part of the risk you take, and
we didn't get paid for the first.
I didn't take a paycheck for 2 years when I started this company.
2 years.
2 years I did not. I put everything I had this company made back into it, and paying stuff off, buying material, putting it into savings,
And the
everything I made,
machines,
and the machines, and replacement parts, everything we'd need in case something happened to try and just grow it. But 2 years I didn't take a paycheck. We put
How did you make that happen though? That's a point that stops a lot of people.
It is.
How do I pay my bills for those 2 years?
My wife carried us, our whole family, and we lived a little more simply. That being said, we're not going out to dinners. We got by though, and she took care of us. She picked up some overtime stuff and found a way to make it work. And then on the side, I just did side gigs where I could, some little jobs here and there. I had trailers I can drive and haul equipment for, and for heavy equipment, stuff like that. I would do, and just little things like that to make ends meet. But
Making it work.
we
Yeah.
got shit done.
Yep.
Yep.
Right? Made it work. Find a way to make it work. So
Oh, wait, was that the same for you, Chris? When you started, you went for a prolonged period of time without a paycheck?
I took about a year because I came on a year after. So I took a year after with no pay. But again, my wife was a nurse, so she was kind of providing on that side. We had some savings. We kind of knew coming into it that, again, we have to cut down on our spending a little bit, and so we made it work, and we're doing good now. So, yeah, that's what I got on that.
Okay, so I am curious to hear, can you think of a project, a specific project that kind of put grit cutting on the map with your customers?
I have one that I did. It was one of our very first large scale jobs, and it was a job at one of the universities we did for basically the entire outer fascia of one of the new buildings we did. And to us, it was a massive job, big deal. I was proud of it, and one of the reasons I think I'm so proud of it, it's just like a job we're currently working on now, is it's something that's gonna be there forever. It's not a consumable part. It's not a part that sits behind the skins of an aircraft or in the foundation of a building. It's like everyone sees it, and every time I drive that road and I see it, like, I did that.
Yeah, as long as the building's standing, we're gonna see our work. So
We're doing another one right now for the city. Is there's building a new highway for some beautification work and all that. So everyone that drives by, I get to, like, every time I drive by it, I'm like, I was a part of that, and this is gonna be here for decades, hopefully longer. And it's nice to be a part of something like that when you drive around town and see your work.
yeah, we're finally at the point of getting into like the government work or the city work and whatnot, where, you know, we're doing stuff for colleges and schools and highways, and
Okay.
now we can say when we're older, like, we could be that old guy, I built that one, you know. So, but it's cool that our grandkids will drive down the highway and see something. Wow, my grandfather built that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool to us.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What are some of the challenges you're immediately trying to solve today to help grit cutting solutions continue to grow?
I think our next challenge that we are going to step into is employment. That's
Hiring employees.
hiring employees. We know, obviously, being a business owner, that I mean, I can't say that because we've met some really, really good employees, but for the most part, the average employee will not or never work as hard as the owner.
Yeah.
You know, just like any job, right? You're never working as hard as the actual guys that run the company. But so that's our biggest hurdle right now, is trying to find a good crew to kind of work with us, because we're going to be out there working the machines.
Yeah, I'm doing
right side by side next to them.
Yeah.
So
I'm never gonna have an employee do something that I haven't done or won't do myself.
never.
Yeah.
And that was the case when we were working manual labor, digging ditches and laying turf back in the day.
And
a lot of concrete masonry work, stuff like that. So
Our work ethic goes back a lot to our grandparents. We had our grandfather immigrate from Germany. He started his own company, and he would never make his employee do something that he didn't do, because he started, you know, sweeping the floors, running the machines, and from there built machine, you know, after that, and that's kind of what we envision that we're doing here at Grit Cutting.
So why is now the right time to hire an employee? Why not last year? Why not next year? Why now?
Load.
the backlog and the workload that we have, the amount of new customers we have rolling in, and just from word of mouth and the advertising we're doing and all that, it's just the workload at this point.
Yeah, we need a guy on the machine pulling parts off, cleaning parts, you know, just even if it's simple stuff. And a guy that basically, I mean, we're willing to train the guy up to a higher level.
Yeah.
Anybody can learn, but just need the extra hand. It would just basically make that many more parts go out to our customers.
We have more equipment than people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we actually stagger our machines as
Our timing.
I know this is going to be a longer cut, so we'll let that run and we got the next part ready, but as that's cutting, we're loading this machine. So we're running 3 or 4 or 5 machines, kind of, you know, staggering our day so they're all running at the same time, but we're offloading while the other one's running.
A lot of days.
Intelligent.
A lot of days without lunch.
Yes.
There's no downtime
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure running all the equipment.
So, and that's one thing I'll give, you know, anybody who wants to start their company is efficiency is a big part of it. You know, be okay with not taking any downtime. You know, you'll get downtime when you go home. Yeah, but at the same time, don't bring the stuff home to your family.
Yeah.
You know, so
What do you think is probably the salient trait that somebody needs to be a successful business owner?
I mean, I don't want to say, the candid word work ethic, right? Because that's very.
I tell people, don't be afraid of taking a job, but don't say no. Like even if it's out of your wheelhouse, you haven't done it 1,000 times before, something new, don't be afraid to try it. If you're willing to try something, you can probably figure out how to do it.
It sounds like it goes back to grit, right?
Oh, when I
That's
first got these
resilient.
machines, yeah, it was like, I was colliding heads learning it, but you learn it by doing it. Like, it's the only way to learn it is actually hands-on and run it. But now when something happens, both of us know exactly what caused it, how to fix it. It's a quick turnaround.
And don't be afraid to fail, and be okay if a customer comes back and is like, hey, this part really isn't the best product.
Yeah.
Say, hey, that's okay. I will redo it.
There's been a few redos.
Customer service.
But that's part of it, as you learn.
You know,
You get a lot less of that.
I don't think we've done a redo in
It's been a minute.
forever.
But when we first started out,
Yeah.
I was looking for something like, I wouldn't have accepted that.
Yeah, mistake. So
So I'm curious to hear, was there a mistake made that was financially very impactful, and what was that mistake, and how did you recover from that expense that was unintended?
I did a job that was for one of our defense branches, and it was about a 10-hour process per part. 16 of
So
them.
each part was about this big circle, and about 10 hours machine time per circle.
Wow.
Yeah, and about $2,500 in material per part, roughly. And about 30 minutes left on the machine, it slipped. Entire parts crashed.
Oh.
Took a huge hit on that one. Have to remake it, on a contract for it, so is what it is, but sulking about it ain't gonna fix it. So replace it, get it going, and move on to the next. I mean, getting mad, it's not gonna solve anything.
Give them a good quality part. That way they come back.
That way they come
you
back.
do it again, and then you'll make the money back. So
Yeah. So it sounds to me like you're highlighting that you need to have a long-term focus and not just in this project focus. That specific contract, that was frustrating. That was a loss for you, but at least you made it right with the customer, and you opened up an opportunity for that customer to come back.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very.
A customer is worth more to me if they return than they are for a one-time payoff, right?
Speaking of the value of customers, what kind of metrics do you track? What's important as an indication of success for Grit Cutting Solutions?
A lot of it is return rate, not product return rate, but customer return.
Yeah.
If they keep coming back, we're doing something right, and that's kind of what I base it off of. If I have a customer we used to do a lot of stuff for, and I don't hear from them in a while, I'll reach out like, kind of, hey, what's going on? But that's really, as long as people are coming back, I'm happy because I know I'm doing something right. If they don't, I need to figure out what's going on and what we need to change.
Okay.
So I guess a happy customer base is kind of what determines good business.
Yes. Are there industries that you are not yet in, but you would like to get in?
We have a decent breadth of our industries here. We do automotive, heavy industrial, aerospace. I wouldn't mind getting deeper into military and defense contracts, but we have our hand in a little bit of that as well. I don't know. There's not one particular that I feel like I'm missing out on. We're pretty broad in it because we do people's. It's not just big projects. We'll take someone off. Like, hey, I have this one-off project I want for my garden or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not too small. Bring it in. See what you got. Right.
Yeah.
I'm not a person that's going to say no to people because it's not some massive job, because those people still need something made too. There's definitely a market there because no one else will take them. Someone got to. Bring what you got.
Okay. What for you makes a good customer? Is there certain criteria that you're looking for?
I think someone, I guess, willing to work with us as far as we're, as much as we're willing to work with them.
Yeah, communication.
Communication, big one. Guys that come in, I mean, we tell our customers, as long as you have a napkin drawing with crayons, we need something from our customers, and we've had some customers that provide very little information. So we like to be very transparent with them, and we want them to be transparent and communicative with us, and then we make it happen. We make a good quality part. So
I'm curious, Chris, have you had customers actually come in with napkin drawings?
Yeah, just notepad drawings, sketches, and I'll have to kind of look at it and, hey, I need, this dimension or this spec or a little more information.
Yeah.
But
people come in with a piece of scrap they have in their garage and like a Sharpie drawing on that piece of scrap.
Yeah.
Here you go. I'm like, All right, let's see what we can do.
Yeah, half the time they come with the material and the drawings on their material that they bring us, you know, or
Wow.
we make it work.
It's interesting to hear the different level of customers. The more sophisticated with their own drawings and their own information, and then other ones coming with a scrap piece of metal with some crayon outline.
And don't think it's just the little guys with the, you know, hand drawings. Sometimes it's the big guys
Yeah.
that send us something and they're like, oh, we're gonna need some more information.
We need to go through these drawings real quick.
Yeah.
Set up a meeting.
So,
We need to have a call.
yeah.
Are there trends in the manufacturing industry or in the cutting technology world that you're excited about?
Some of the automation's nice.
Automation's cool.
Automation is pretty cool. It's coming out better and better.
Automation, I think some of the new advancements in, like, for example, press brake. They're so, I mean, everything went from G-code and now you can draw it with a SketchUp tool and it will build the part for you. I mean, machinery has come such a long way from when our grandfather did it to now when we're doing it for different companies. He wasn't in the metals and, you know, fabrication company, but yeah, I think very much so. I mean, some of these press brakes, you put in your part on a step file and it basically does everything for you. You just feed the machine.
Would you mind telling anyone who's not familiar with a press brake what it is?
So a press brake, basically it's a very large high tonnage machine. You have a top die and a bottom bed and it basically bends and forms material. So, I mean, I don't want to go off topic, but that's one other thing that we're thankful for. We bought a larger press than most of the people in the industry. So always buy bigger machinery.
Yeah, if you have the ability, get something that sets you aside from your competition.
But going back
What they can't
to
do.
basically just bending and forming material. So people often ask, are you sure you guys are going to have enough work? Well, everything is made from flat stock material. I mean, down to these window
So your
frames.
your computer.
Everything
power cover.
starts flat and gets bent and formed somehow, and a press brake is one of those tools to bend and form things. So, but yeah, the advancements in laser technology, water jets, press brakes, all that stuff is amazing.
Both of you have made the comment to err on the bigger side, but buy bigger machines, plan for bigger capacity than what you're anticipating. Has your experience been that if you set yourself up with capability, the opportunity comes to you?
I think it does.
Eventually, it's going to find you
Very much
by word of mouth. Someone's going to know because they're going to go to. And one of the biggest things, we work with a lot of what people consider our competition, a lot of other shops around here. So they have capabilities we don't, and vice versa. So that being said, we're able, like, if someone goes to them, they can't do it, they're going to send them my way, and vice versa, because we have certain capabilities other people don't. It just sets us apart. But once the word about it is out there, yeah, the work comes for sure.
What kind of approaches are you using for advertising? Are you going out and trying to sell yourself, or are you expecting work?
Still are. We still do networking events. I still pass out cards to people. You know, so I've always enjoyed a face-to-face interaction. It's just, I don't know, it's human, it's personal. But we do have billboards. I have online Google ads, and we get a surprising amount of work from word of mouth.
Yeah.
Word of mouth is
Google Ads is very good.
Google ads have been very
But word of mouth is, I think, our number one.
Yeah.
You know.
How do you proactively support word of mouth advertising? Is there something you as the business owner can do to encourage and incentivize word of mouth?
I think a quality part and the willingness to correct a mistake.
Yeah.
And you know, they're gonna say, hey, those guys really hooked me up. Or
If someone's going to recommend someone, their name's kind of on it too, to a point. So they want to recommend someone that they can trust.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not going to recommend a guy, hey, you should hire this guy, knowing he's really not a good worker, because it makes me look bad. So if we give our customer a good part, they are confident to tell their whoever asked them, yeah, this is where we go.
In the community of Beyond 40 and Just Getting Started, we are looking for bold people who have taken action and who have taken those steps to escape the employee life and create something more abundant for themselves. What's one thing that you've appreciated most about the steps that you've made? And is there anything you regret about how you left the employee world and entered into what we term the prosperity pool?
you want to go first?
I do wish I would have done it sooner. I have a lot of faith and confidence in my skills and my abilities as well as Chris's. So I definitely think we should have done it earlier, because we've done businesses and stuff on the side growing up, just out of the garage even.
Well, we started our first company when I was a sophomore, you were a junior, or
So I was
senior. So
Yeah. That was DNC Designs, and we do off-road stuff like that.
Okay.
So, because again, we just have just a love for the off-road world.
it's the passion.
That's the passion of it, right? We'd build things for people and such, but no, I definitely wished I would have taken the leap of faith on myself sooner.
What's one thought about how you made your transition?
So, and you're saying, I guess, a thought of not necessarily how I made it, but how kind of what we've gained from it, or
What's something that you've appreciated about the transition away from the employee world, and do you have any regret about how you transitioned from the LA Fire Department over to grit
I
cutting?
think the biggest thing I've appreciated is just being able to say, hey, we made something for ourselves, and it's being super proud of the success that both of us have done for each other. I mean, I don't think there's anything better than self-success. It's like,
Yeah, building your dream.
that's like winning with your team, at the Super Bowl. Hey, we did it ourselves. We did it, guys. So I think the biggest thing I regret about moving on, and we'll grow that as we're getting employees, but a larger community, because I went from 12 guys, and we were like a big family, right?
Yep.
We lived together for 24 hours. So that's the one thing I miss.
Okay.
But I mean, that's about it.
Yeah.
I got my brother, so I'm super stoked. Because we grew up together. We're unusual brothers. We didn't really fight. We always rode dirt bikes together and
That is every
played
girl.
hockey together. And
And it's funny because actually him coming on was probably the scariest thing about this business. See, when I started it, when I left, I had my engineering degree. That wasn't going anymore. I had my clearance. That was good for 2 years, right? So I'm like, I can go back on something because I have certain qualifications that are sought after in this industry. And then when Chris joined, especially with, again, all the COVID stuff, I'm like, he can't go back. This has to work. There is no failing. That was the stressful part. The biggest growth we had, no question. But it was the scariest part for me also, because I felt like I had that weight on my shoulders too. I'm like, okay,
he has to make it for me.
I
and
have
my
to make it for
That's what
his
he-
kids
yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
So, and whether that was true or not, it's the way I felt. But it was the biggest growth, but the scariest part.
That is an excellent words of wisdom, that sometimes the biggest growth comes from the scariest steps.
Fortune favors the bold, right?
Fortune favors the
My
bold.
favorite saying.
Yep.
Fortune favors the bold.
Danny and Chris, thank you very much for allowing us to talk to Grit Cutting Solutions. Your story has been inspiring for our community. Thank you for sharing your examples with us of how you've made these bold steps, and we're excited to see how Grit Cutting Solutions will continue on in the future.
Yeah.
If anyone's interested in reaching out and learning more about Grit Cutting Solutions, where would you recommend they go?
Our website, I know you need to work on it. So
Give us grace on our website.
but
Get
just
there.
give us a call or reach out, and we'll probably have our information here afterwards on the link. So
Yep.
You
Grit
guys
Cutting Solutions, Ogden, Utah.
Yep.
So, and I know, on a side note, we have seen a lot more, basically people leaving the large corporation,
the employee life.
employee life,
Yep.
and starting their own thing, and it's great.
Yeah,
It's
a lot of our
So,
customers are like that.
people are catching on, and
Yeah.
sure, everything from like a podcast like yourself, and
It's a trend.
it's growing.
It's a
It's
trend.
really growing.
I would say the one thing I can say for anyone that's trying to do it, commit, trust yourself, because anyone that does stuff on the side or after work kind of deal, it's a lot harder. You got to take that leap of faith and trust yourself to go full dive into it.
Pledged. Yeah.
And on that note,
Hard.
remember that ordinary is optional. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.